Jack Daniel's Toasted Barrel Heritage Single Barrel. It's not horrible. It's just, it could be so much more. And maybe that's a matter of them proofing it down. But I would think that by proofing it down, it would take some of those acrid portions out and let some of the sweeter and fruit notes come forward. Because very typically, with barrel proof whiskey, when we water it down and we bring that proof down, it expresses some of the fruit notes a bit better. Not always. It depends on the whiskey, but that tends to be the case. Like, when I've had Jack Daniel's single barrels, some of the ones that are lower proof tend to be the ones that I get more fruit out of, and the ones that are higher proof that I've tried are the ones where I get more oak presence and those kind of deeper, more savory notes. The nose is so like campfire s'mores, it's fantastic. But then when I get into the palate, that portion goes away. The banana comes forward, and I like that a lot because I love the banana note that comes out of Jack Daniel's when I get it. But there's none of the nuttiness that I sometimes get in Jack Daniel's. There's definitely not any like the really like wonderful caramely notes. It's more burnt, like something was overcharred, or it sat in the toasted barrel for not long enough or too long. I'm not really sure, because it is a very carbony thing going on the palate. And that makes me have to bring it down. I think there are portions, depending on your personal palate, that you might really like. Like, if you love taking a marshmallow to where it's all the way black over a campfire and you've just, like, burnt the entire outside, and you're like, I love that combo, then this might actually give you something like that in whiskey form, and that might be really, really intriguing to you. But for me, I don't like that, and it takes away from some of the good parts of the whiskey, so I can't really rate it super high. If this didn't have that, like, burnt kind of off-putting thing that I'm getting at the tail end of the finish, I'd actually pretty like this quite a lot, because I like that Bananas Foster's thing, but there's just this like slight acrid, and that's really taken away from me. For some people, if you really like that super burnt marshmallow thing, you might actually really, really dig this. But for me, it's starting to mess with some of the good parts of the flavor, and I don't know about that. The entirety of it is not as like ridiculously like jet fuel-esque and acrid as say something like that Johnny Drum was that we tried a while back. So I'm not going to, like, ding it too hard. I think this is interesting, especially if you can get it for MSRP. It might be really cool. I would probably try this in a bar first, just to make sure that what I'm getting on my palate doesn't do the same thing to yours, to where you're like, this takes away from a lot of the positives, and I don't know if it's worth it. But then again, Jack Daniel's is so good at keeping their prices low, even on their special releases, that maybe it's worth picking it up just to have something interesting in your selection as a whole.